all have the same features, and they all implement these features to a greater or lesser degree, and everyone has come to expect those features, and everyone looks to see how well they've implemented those features. And when the new flight simulator comes out, it implements, say, the renderer feature a little bit better, or it does texture mapping a little bit. It does one of these crazy things a little bit better. And our attitude with Flight Unlimited was not to do that. It was to say that, listen, there's something missing from the experience. It's a very serious mathematical problem. It's not the kind of thing, when you get to this level, that you can kind of hack around in the traditional hacker sense. You really have to sit back and say, listen, I'm doing mathematics and it's following the laws of mathematics in this realm. I have to really understand what's going on. And that's the advantage that Looking Glass has. We have people who have a very solid foundation in mathematics. So when we look at a texture map, we see a problem in sampling. And we know how to propagate the error in our numbering system through the sampling problem. We know how to arrange for clipping and the correct limiting of values and test cases and things like that. And additionally, we have a lot of guys trained in programming from MIT who are very accustomed to dealing with limit cases of programs and of test cycles and things like that, which is a rigorous standard that we hold ourselves to, that we see very few other game companies hold themselves to it. The guy who wrote the FBO is Greg Travis. He had his degree in math and computer science from Oberlin College in Ohio, I think. And he's the best C++ programmer I've ever known or heard of. He's incredible. He can do anything instantly. We're trying to make the manual as readable and cool as possible. It's very visual. It's mostly pictures. It's extremely short. It's going to have a nice binding. It's going to be the kind of thing that you're going to want to look at. Maybe we can get 6% instead of 3% of the people who buy the game to actually look at the manual. I have an extreme view of aerodynamics, which I express in there, which is everything I need to know about aerobatics about aerodynamics I learned by sticking my hand out the car window view. Anyway, you can read about that in there. You can imagine sticking your hand out the car window right now, and if the car speeds up, there's more force. If you increase the angle that your hand is, it's going to lift up. It has, your hand gets forced in this direction like this, and there's lift and there's drag, and they combine together. It's very clear what's going on. If you go like this, your hand's going to dip and go back like that. And the whole concept of a wing is circulation. Air hits the bottom of your hand. And you get a lot of people who ask over the phone when they first talk about it, before they see it, they say, oh, does it do external camera off the right wing view? And I say to myself, I have to explain to them, well, yes, but
it's a pilot experience.
It's not clear if you're going to really want that. You're not going to be looking to have 10 trillion external camera views and stuff. Although you can have external camera view, you can set your external camera view, and you can record. If you try hard, you can get it to have the same features as an establishment flight simulator. But the point is that you're going to be having a different thing going on. You're playing Flight Unlimited. You're going to have an experience going on which is more akin to flying an airplane than any of these other things. It's a very serious mathematical problem. It's not the kind of thing, when you get to this level, that you can kind of hack around in the traditional hacker sense. You really have to sit back and say, listen, I'm doing mathematics and it's following the laws of mathematics in this realm. I have to really understand what's going on. And that's the advantage that Looking Glass has. It's very easy because of the way that we do the flight modeling. Since we know the velocity and pressure of the air everywhere on the surface of the airplane, it's very easy for us to make the same mistakes that those instruments do. A lot of people say that space is six-dimensional. You have 3 degrees of location plus 3 rotations, right? But that's not enough. You have to define what the rotations are around. You can get all sorts of trouble, basically. So never believe anybody when they tell you that space is six-dimensional. Synthetically generated scenes never have that photoreal bite, that kind of sense of super reality that Flight Unlimited has. The thing that really makes it revolutionary, rather than just kind of pushing to the next kind of level of cartoony-looking graphics. What we've done is we take stereo aerial photos, and using the technology that Tim Day had been working on and developed himself at UCL, we can stereo mesh them to get the height array out, just like your eyes do. We take color stereo aerial photos with a number of constraints on them. we get these 10-inch by 10-inch contact prints, which means that the negative is as big as the printed picture, and we scan them, and then we run them through this proprietary stereo matching package, which Tim Day has written, which takes the two images and matches points on the two images to find the elevation of those points. In many ways, we're copping out. We don't really have an artistic style for Flood Unlimited. We're always going for photorealism. It's a very easy thing to point for. It's hard to achieve, but it's very easy to point at. Human beings are very good at picking out small differences in detail between things, and that's something that we try to do very, very carefully in Flight Unlimited, is make sure that all the transitions of visual languages make a lot of sense, that the screens make sense, and that you're always being transported into this rendered world, and there's a very strong differentiation between things which are rendered and things which are flat. And so that people who are playing it never feel overwhelmed in any way, and so that it always is making good visual sense, and that's part of being honest.